I see Steve. I see Martin.
How's it going, guys?
The whole gang.
Hey guys.
There he is.
I've had my hair done.
Oh, nice. I'm the old bald guy now.
Took me 8 hours to get this like this, you know.
Keith's not live yet, right? Because I can see him. Is everybody listening? Is everybody ready for this?
Yeah.
Can we hear he's in the fucking tunnel?
I thought you were gonna
I
say
fixed it. No, I was just testing his noise, making sure it was definitely Keith. That's Keith.
I thought he was gonna debut a brand new microphone or something.
No. It's me. It must be me, Mac. What next? Well, I was hoping, but Mr. Amazon guy hasn't come yet, so I need some wires to connect everything up.
You might turn up during a live, you never know.
He might do.
Yeah.
So if I disappear, you know why.
Am I a little bit loud? Because I heard myself echo there.
Yeah, you're always loud,
I
mate.
know it's echo.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell you what, is that better?
Yeah.
Step back
Who's
on the
got
mic a
the
little bit.
speaker on? Oh, it's stopped now.
It hasn't.
It's only with me. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's Keith. Yeah. See? Is that
Yep.
perfect?
Keith
What?
is
Has
off
he
in
got-
his
is-
top
I've-
echoing.
Is it,
I've got a
is
feeling
it-
Keith's just wearing headphones and actually listening
not
through
plugged
his
them in.
speakers.
I don't understand it. He can't talk because I've muted him.
Poor guy.
Feels like he's getting picked on now. Right, we're getting a few people speaking on here. You all right, Robert? Yes, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Me, Martin, and Keith have been working on getting everything ready for you guys. I've just noticed that Michael Bowes is in the house. He's probably left by now, but he was. We've got Tim Judge. Steve, you all right, pal? Vincent, hey, pal. We've got your email sorted for tomorrow as well, so that's all done. Not this again. You turn up every week, though, don't you?
Yeah,
How's everybody doing?
very well.
Doing good.
This now. This is how we're going to run the thingy tomorrow. This is how the boot camp's going to be. Everybody's going to be on camera,
Or you'd be trying to say it'll be 25.
except Keith with his sound problems. No, we'll mute anyone who's got the sound problems tomorrow, and then let them speak when they're talking.
Are you doing it on Teams or on another platform?
Go to webinar. Go to meeting.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
It's better. It's much much better sound quality. Yeah, I was just going to chat for a little bit before we do anything. Have we got anybody on? Okay, there's is it Yando, something like that, for the boot camp tomorrow. Steve, put your hair back on.
Is it the fact that my hair's not, very shiny?
Fail boot camp.
Jeff's already lost his money.
Just nip round Keith, Jeff. You'll be fine. I'm sure you better make something up between all the wires.
I'm getting onto Amazon in a minute. Please change the delivery date. So, yep. We have
I've got a
got
spare iMac, but it's a bit noisy.
I've had a lot of people messaging me saying, I've missed it, what's wrong with it, we're getting a white screen, why can't we join? Basically the boot camp filled up in about 2 to 3 hours. I think there was about 2 or 3 spaces left for about 5 or 6 hours, but it pretty much full, and then within about 5 or 6 hours it was all gone. So guys, we're gonna go through it this time. We're gonna help everybody get to the end. We kick out the guys and ban them if they fail, but we're then going to do it with 50 people the next time round, so we might run it straight simultaneously, one after the other, if it helps people. But we are going to use it for training as well for the new guys coming in, so it's just get a first time access to it and get involved and get to contribute. What's Robert saying? Of course you will, mate. Yes, you get full access to all the recordings and everything. You guys will as we go in, and then afterwards we might put something together so that our new Lead Simplify guys can get access to them as well. Have we got many Lead Simplify users on here? I mean, obviously Robert uses Lead Simplify. Keith, I'm going to have to mute you a sec, mate, unless you're talking, because it's really bad. It's really bad. It sounds like you're in the shower, doesn't it?
It is hissing and popping in the background there. I'm not sure. It could be just a connection. I think we'll have to talk to Keith and figure out what's going on. We run through a few troubleshooting things with him. But let's do it.
Yep. Okay, cool. Right. Well, the guys that's on Lead Simplify, I can see Jeff's putting in there. Yes, Vincent, me. I know Robert definitely is. I'm assuming Jeff is if he's on the boot camp for tomorrow. If you go down to where it's, what's it called again? On the bottom left?
Help and resources section.
Help and resources tab. Yeah, you'll be able to see, you can now access your hosting. You can now access the themes and all the other stuff. They're all inside there already. But that's where we're going to be accessing them via the boot camp. So that's where we're going to be showing you to access them via the boot camp. And we're going to be starting the boot camp from right at the beginning. So a few of the more advanced guys can help at the beginning, because we're all going to do this as a community, and then we'll go through the whole process from start to finish over the full 12 weeks. It's going to be 6 weeks every second Friday. Who's seen the webinar last night?
I did.
Did you? Did anyone else see it?
It was really good, wasn't it?
It was awesome. When I first seen it and I was talking to him about it, I was like, oh my God. Very nice improved linking within Lead Simplify. Sounds
I enjoyed the chat
in terms of the help. Sorry, go on, Steve.
Sorry, go on.
I think he means the help and stuff there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, me and Martin had a chat this week, and I loved his take on how to do the leads on phones through Lead Simplify, where you don't press 1 to answer the call, you put a message to people instead saying this is a lead from so and so. Please wait while we connect you. And that's when you're doing new prospects. And I just love that idea. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, rather than making the prospects press 1, just allow the calls to go directly through to him. I think it's definitely more successful, and you definitely get a lot more prospects on board with it. So
then making them press 1.
Yeah.
Well, the prospects are added automatically, aren't they? You mean hot prospects?
Sorry, I mean, yeah. So when a lead comes in and it goes out to a prospect,
you have to use the right words, Martin. You can't not watch me webinars and then come in here using old lingo.
Just a normal prospect. Yeah.
I keep sending him webinars saying you need to watch it and tell me what you think. He's like, yeah, definitely, I'll watch it. This is
I do watch
3 months ago.
I do watch him, mate. You don't. You call me. You say, "Oh, he's a boss. He's putting me on a wage and all that." But he's the one that gives me all the work to do. He pretends that I'm the boss, but he gives me the jobs.
I get blamed for everything. Also, should we tell them what we're working on, Martin, or not? No, let's not. But the webinar last night, I've been thinking about it all day. How cool is that setup? Anyone that's not seen that webinar, it's next to this video on my YouTube channel. I actually uploaded it to YouTube, and I never do that, but I really can see how people can make an absolute ton of money with it. So they get right. I'll put Keith back on and see if we've got any questions from that end. Then we'll do some Q&A on the what you call it. I found a new tool this week that's awesome, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and then we'll let Daryl and Steve take over after that and tell us what's going on with their end. Any questions, Keith?
We've got one from, I'm probably going to kill his name. It's Dan DeRourke. Basically said he's not getting support, but he's only had 2 support tickets in. One was answered by you about an hour after he put it in, and the other one was answered by me, which was probably about an hour and a half after he put it in. So if he needs to get back in touch with us, check his emails and then get back in touch with us. So that's the only ones that come in. The one I did have was somebody was on in support asking about the dynamic
with regards to Dan. Just to let you know, I screenshotted both of them to Peter because Peter Drew mentioned it to me earlier. Send him a message back with my mobile number. Tell him to text me, and then we'll test why he's not getting the responses. We'll have a look at it for him. Just text him my mobile. You've got my mobile number, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. What was you saying about the dynamic backlink builder?
Forget who it was, but somebody had a few questions about it. So I've knocked one together. Basically, dynamic backlink builder is dead easy. you set up a site and it's just a dead site what you don't want to use, just any old site. So this is just the site I use. Basically, you put the dynamic backlink builder on, and that's all you're going to do with it. So you don't need a lot of stuff on. So if you go into like sort of plugins.
What was the question? Do you
How
think
you
you're
do
sharing your? Do you
I
think you're
just
sharing the
think I was
screen?
sharing the screen, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Share it then.
I'm waiting for it to pop up. It's not popped up.
I'm waiting for you to share it.
It's-
No, you have to click share screen in the bottom middle.
I have, and I've clicked the allow the share screen bit. I'll click the whole.
Ted,
The whole.
Mike's not playing with you on this occasion as well, Keith, because I can normally see when it pops up and it actually isn't there. It normally does come up and say
There we
somebody's
go.
got. There we go. It's starting now.
keep
It's
using
'cause-
the
That took some
anti-computer.
time.
He's got
That's why
a
I'm
copper
getting
pair
you
running
one.
to his house 20 miles away from the exchange. Yes, wind
Right.
the old handle to keep it going.
How
There we
do you
go,
share
you're
my
live.
screen? Right.
Done.
Good. Okay, so as I was saying, you put it in any sort of domain you've got that you're not using for anything else, you're not going to use for anything else, and you only need iThings Security on really, or WP Schema, or even the backup. You only need Magic Page plugin on really, and Classic Editor, just because I don't like the other one. But that's all the plugins what you actually need on. Now, there's loads of videos on my site about how to use it. There's a couple of templates which I'll give away. Daryl's done a template as well, which is used with these forms. I'm going to be changing my templates to work with Daryl's form, because Daryl's form is bloody awesome. But for now, basically, all you do is you just have a site with this on, load the templates in, and then put some content into Xfiles, and it works. Now, don't try and like sort of build 10,000 backlinks, because what it does, it builds up the actual zip file, and when it tries to build a zip file up, it will just kill your server unless you've got a good, or unless you like live in Wakefield, and it'll just kill your server anyway. Oh, there we go. Decided to come back to us. So like I say, we have the template there, which you put into the head section and you put into your export templates. You just set up your area you want to target, and then you've got bits of text in here, which can be spun text, which is all in your Xfiles. And this is where you can quickly change stuff out and just change the content, which is why you want it on a separate domain, because you can use this layout for pest control. Then you might decide, oh, well, now I need to do some backlinks for a locksmith, or now I need to do some for plumber. And you might say, oh, well, I don't want Clearwater anymore, and I want to do it in Miami, or I want to do it in Wakefield, or wherever, which is why you need it on a separate domain, so you can keep changing it over and it doesn't affect anything. And to run it, it's a simple case of clicking on that, and if it's the first time it's run, it will come up and do a check of your system just to make sure everything's correct. Once that check's done, all you'll see is this. Now, you want to, if you're using the HTMLs, which is the only ones I use, I tend not to use the PDFs. I'm not a PDF sort of guy. I like the HTMLs. Always use installing the subdirectory. Obviously, give it a better name than that. Normally, your keyword, what you're targeting. Just use the 301 redirects. Stick in your location. Stick in your thingies, then it will build up how many locations. These I just leave the same. I never touch them. Down here, as you can see, your page title, it can be spun. You can have more page titles, just the same as I have with the file names. I've got like sort of, I've got spun. If you notice, I've got termite inspection, termite control, termite treatment, termite extermination. and then I've just got it swapped around. So it's like location and then location. And then it's basic template. If you save the settings, as I did previously, then everything just comes back. And then it's just a case of export. Hit the export, it goes away, and it builds all them pages for you, which will be like 82. And once it's built them, it will put them into a zip file for you to be able to download and then upload to Amazon and Google Cloud and anywhere else you want to put them. So that's it. What you can do is you can click on that one or any one of them. And this is just a preview, so you won't see any pictures or you won't see anything else like that. That normally works a bit quicker than that other thing, but that would have a picture in the background. And then as you scroll down, you've got your text there, which would have a picture here. I've got it so it embeds a video. And you probably have a picture there, some more text. And then you've got a map here. And then you've got obviously your gubbins at the bottom with all of your other links. And like I say, all you do is you download that to a zip file and then upload it to Amazon. And I've got loads of videos on my site about uploading to Amazon, uploading to Google Cloud. And I'm probably going to do some new ones because the way you can use these and actually build an actual HTML website, the way it's used to be done on Amazon slightly changed. So I'll do some more so we can get some fresh ones up there and get it sorted. Well, that is basically Dynamic Backlink Builder in a nutshell. There you go. Yep.
Keith, what are the best practices with uploading these to various locations?
In what way?
As in you create these and then you upload them obviously to maybe Amazon,
Yeah.
AWS or somewhere like that. Where would you recommend to upload all the stuff that Backlink Builder's
I
built?
create a folder on Amazon, which was called like sort of like that one, because I was going after termite control. We called termite control Clearwater, Florida. That's what I'm targeting. And then I upload them to there, and just that's it. That's all I do. I upload them, then I'll create a one on Google Drive, which I'll call termite control, and then upload them. The only thing with Amazon, and Google Drive is that folder has to be unique. So now if anybody tries to upload another folder, which is called termite control Clearwater FL, they won't be able to because I've already got it. But best practices, I would say, is don't go daft and don't try and send like 1,000 links to your homepage or from Amazon, because you're just going to kill yourself, especially if it's got no other links. You're just going to kill your site. You need to be spreading it around a bit, having more links go to your site. And what I tend to do is have one or two go to my site, but then the rest will all go to my Web 2s, my citations, and all sorts. So I'm powering all them up as well. And I just mix it all up. But like I say, you can also use them on a proper HTML site. Just Amazon keeps changing the way you set up an HTML site. And previously I couldn't get it to work where it was like every time I did it, it was the same. It was always something slightly different, which was just a ball ache. So I just stopped doing it. But something I'm going to have another look at, because I think it will be good to be able to set these up as like sort of PBNs and things like that. Very niche relevant. And just put some more videos in the group and I fathom it out. I'm determined to get
I have to say, Keith, I've been watching your videos. Anyone who's starting out in this, some of the videos Keith recently put up, go and watch them because they are really useful. So if you didn't get into the boot camp, there are a lot of good videos that have been put into the Facebook group at the moment, and so it's a really good way to start.
Keith, a quick one for you. Could you use? So I don't know whether that was what you were touching on there when you mentioned about the PBNs, but could you use different Amazon sites to link to one Power Amazon site rather than your website, and then have that one Power Amazon site that links back to your money page? I don't know. It's just a thought. If that might work, so you actually boost the power of one of your S3 folders, and then have that one send all the juice back to your main site.
That's kind of like a PBN. That's kind of
yeah.
You use a pyramid effect to them, and then you only have a few links to your site, but you actually have thousands underneath in layer 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you boost the crap out of it.
Yeah, but a PBN within your Amazon S3 folder structure, or Google Drive or wherever you're doing it. So you use all that, so nothing links back to your money site or any of your other sites, tier 1, 2, 3, whichever sites you've got. You've just got one boosted Amazon S3 folder, which has got a couple of links back to your money site. I don't know whether that would work or not, but it seems like it might.
The best thing about the Amazon, when you can get the hosting to actually work consistently for these, is that every time you put a site up, even if you put it on the same like sort of Amazon S3, it actually gets a totally unique IP address. So you can put it on the same like sort of bucket thing as like Amazon, and like the European one, I could put all of my sites up on you, but every one of them would have a completely different IP address. And they're not like yeah. Why do you think I've been trying to get it to bloody work? Because this is like a bloody cheap way to host all your PBNs.
Question though, is anyone? Just let me answer that question that's on the screen. Is anyone having problems indexing the websites? Because I'm not. Is anybody else seeing this problem, or is this something that I posted the question because I didn't realise we were? Are we?
No. Not as far as I'm aware. All mine's indexed. I mean, some of mine are indexing before I build them.
The only index.
One little trick that I've been using is multiple computers with Chrome, doing just bookmark and the site and leave it alone. Don't do anything else. You see it all of a sudden, a site that you didn't put any backlinks anywhere, all of a sudden the thing will start showing up.
What if you had like
it's wild,
20
isn't it?
VMs that you spun up in a hypervisor?
No, not even that. Like three. Just like three. Just find. I have different RDPs, and I just do a few different profiles and different and you just all you do is bookmark it and put it in your bookmarks bar, and then you check about 3 days later. All of a sudden, 4 days later, you start to see the thing showing up.
I wonder, if that had worked for like an SEO tool. You know where. Sorry, so the only indexing problem that I've ever had was when we used Yoast with it. When you used it wrong, it was setting them to no index. If you've got Yoast on there, it might have something to do with that.
There is a setting in the back of WordPress as well somewhere, and I can't remember where it is. That you have to untick. Don't index. You've got to untick that. Sometimes that can cause a problem if it's switched on.
The only thing I do is I stick a YouTube video on. And I never have any problems getting indexed.
Yeah, because it notices it.
I did a test a few weeks back where I did a PDF giveaway of some information. It wasn't a sale or anything, and then I put that into the same folder on my Google Drive as my mini PBN, as I called it, with all the links linking together, and that helped boost one of my sites because loads of people went to it to get the information, and I wasn't even sending it to a list. It was just go here, download this.
I was just saying then about an SEO tool, right? What I was thinking of is, like you can get thousands and thousands of Gmails, can't you? So you can log in and out of all your Gmail accounts. And what you was just saying there about bookmarking it, a tool that actually goes in, right? So for example, you've got a tool that you can add 500,000 keywords, right? And what it does is it logs in as the individual and does a load of searches, and then what it does is it goes in and it also bookmarks all the websites you're wanting to rank, but all the searches are in a specific niche, so it looks like that account is closely created for
theory.
So it might be really interested in locksmith, or it might be really interested in shooting people on the weekend or whatever, right, he's interested in. But you do it like that, and then you have it so it book that, and then you'd have thousands of these little accounts set up, so the tool automatically goes in. I think Michael Bowes was on, he'll probably
Yeah, I
make
know.
it.
He's probably already made it happen.
He's going to make that.
Yeah,
when he-
come with it.
Michael will be like, how the f- did he know about that? Some of his tools are crazy. So if he is on,
He'll call it Michael Viper.
yeah, Viper Mike. It'll be next. Mike's hosting. Do we need to add our WordPress websites to Cloudflare? No, you've got a free SSL, but it's recommended.
It's got its own CDN. So the CDN network runs worldwide, basically, and it has its own SSL as well. But if you still want to run it through Cloudflare, you're quite welcome to. All they're both doing is just sharing the sites all over the world onto multiple servers. So it's hosted as such locally to where you are, cached locally to where you are. Which is why when you set your email accounts up, you have to wait half an hour for the email account to go live on our hosting, because it has to go out across all the servers to be seen. So when you first set an email address up, don't panic when you're trying to test it. It won't receive anything for about half an hour.
Right. I've noticed that when I first set my account up, I didn't get an email for a bit, and I was thinking, what's it? So it takes about half an hour to send an email out.
It even says in the control panel when you set the email address up, if you read it, it actually says, please wait half an hour.
Can we put that on the actual page where they set the account up? That you know where it tells you what's included in the hosting. Can we just put a quick note at the top that says, emails will take 30 minutes to arrive due to the CDN or whatever it's called.
I'll do that tonight at the end of this.
I still use Cloudflare on my sites. I'm not. I mean, we've got the free SSL there if you want to be lazy. But I personally set up a new Cloudflare account for every website I set up. That's just how I do it. It takes 30 seconds. They don't check your email, so they don't make you verify your email to set up a Cloudflare account. So it doesn't take long. So you go in, you use the actual domain name that you're on, info at whatever the domain is, and go in and you can literally set up a Cloudflare account in 30 seconds. So
just to say on that, Mike, if you run through Cloudflare, there's an optimization button in the hosting to optimize your hosting. That links up with the built-in CDN, so there'll be no point having that on if you're running through Cloudflare.
All right, okay, cool. Right.
Just to make people aware of it.
For best practice, how many money sites of the same niche can be added to the MPP hosting account, covering more than new locations to spread lead gen? Yeah, six many. I mean, if you're going to put your money sites on there, you probably want to mix PBNs in different hosting. Personally, what I'd do is have your own proper top-level decent server that you have set up for your money sites and use it for your PBNs. That's personally what I'd do, and run them through Cloudflare. That's I think a better way of doing it, as opposed to putting your money sites on the MPP hosting and then obviously running around putting PBNs all over the show, because it's going to cost you a fortune. So it'd be good to use them for your PBNs. Once you've got an evergreen site set up, you're rocking, and we're going to do that in the boot camp. We're going to go through and get you set. Everyone's going to have to complete it because you've all agreed to complete the work. So you have to do it.
There's a golden rule that they'll find out later on, which is never agree to something that you don't know what you're agreeing to yet.
Yeah, it's all on there, mate. It's on the list. Maybe Ghost Browser. What's that? Ghost Browser with different personas might work to bookmark sites to help index. Ghost Browser.
It's a browser.
Even just in Chrome, you can set up different profiles, can't you?
That's what you would do, yeah.
But
I mean, think of the Google ecosystem and feed Google the information, whether you're buying pay-per-click, putting on PPC ads, or you're doing the browser, you're sending signals to Google ecosystem. So you're looking for showing interest in your page. And I think what Mike said was spot on. If you could do some searches for various niche-oriented things, and just kind of, put them into different browser profiles. And I would say, between 3, 4, 5, I wouldn't go nuts with it. And just, show us some interest in that URL. And I've been surprised. Now, Keith brought up a good point, maybe because they had videos on the pages, and maybe that's why that information got reflected back. I don't know all of the triggers that would have caused it, but from our experiment, it did work. We didn't do any other backlinking and at all, and the pages showed up inside the index within a few days.
Main thing is as well, Google loves Google, as simple as that. So the more you feed Google with Google stuff, YouTube, and what Dal was saying, the more Google's going to love it, and the more you're going to outrank things. I find it as well very easy to rank on Bing, the other search engine. And something super, I've got to share this, super cool this week. I was helping one of our members with a few issues with their sites, and this person, I won't name them because otherwise loads of people will be pinging them, very kindly sent me a link to 2 domains, and both of them had GMBs attached to them, which I managed to get my hands on, and I followed Mike's video on this, and I set them up. I connected them up to the domain. I got control of them. I changed the number to a Lead Simplify number through Twilio, and this week both of them have had calls without me doing anything. Auto prospecting on, boom.
You should have made a video to share with people about stuff like that.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah,
I'll find another one. I'll do a video for everyone on the next one.
He's going to start a business called Lost and Found GMBs.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a business called guilting people into doing my videos for me. No, yeah, it does work, doesn't it? I mean, I've got a few.
That's
I've got
amazing.
about 5 or 6 that I still use now, or that they're still being used by my brother and that and they've been up for years. And when you get them, because they're aged, they're ranking and they stay ranking.
Yeah. I love the fact you can verify by email. So you initially just click on the GMB. If you got the domain name, you click on the GMB and say, "I want this GMB," and then it comes up with the email address that it needs to email. So then you go to your account and create the email. Wait half an hour on our hosting, and then click the OK button. The email comes in. You got your PIN, and then you own it. And then only change the phone number after you own it. Don't do it before, because Google might think it's a bit funny and they might close it down. So I wait till I got the whole GMB in my account and I change the phone number. Don't change the address or anything else on it, just the phone number, and away you go. You got yourself a GMB.
And that's how you adopt a GMB.
Yep.
I'm a foster parent of a GMB.
We're going to be doing Adopt a GMB.
The other thing to do, which makes it slightly safer when you're changing the phone number, is not to change it. Move the original phone number down to be the secondary phone number, and just put your Lead Simplify one up as the first one. Because that way,
leave that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that way it just looks to Google. It looks to Google like all you're doing is you're just putting a tracker number on just to actually, because you've still got your main number there. And then you can leave, like I say, like Martin said, leave it for a couple of weeks or just leave it for a couple of months, just forget about it. And then next time you're going to do anything on your GMB, just delete that number, because you're already in. You know, so long as your number on your GMB and the number on your website matches and the addresses match, then you should be good to go.
You need a full guide on this.
Yeah, I managed to get my hands on another GMB as well this week. I did a bunch of citations about 3 months ago, and I left them. And when I did a search this week, I picked up on a GMB there. So I went in to have a look and said, "Do you own it?" So I clicked on it, and it asked to verify by email and phone number. And I didn't even need the pin for it. I was quite surprised. Google created it for me, not me.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know how this works and hasn't seen the video, what you do is you're looking for GMBs that have been registered from previous businesses where the domain name has been left to drop out of so they've lost. So imagine a business like a plumber who was in business for 5 years. He's let his domain, his GMB will still be there, but his website URL, if he stops paying for it, which a lot of them do when they go out of business or when they retire. So what you do is you buy the domain name, okay, that it's linked to, and then you set up info@url.com, so whatever the URL is, so MikeThePlumber.com, and then what you do is you go in and you claim the listing, and then what it does is it says verify via email, so you verify, it'll send an email to info@url.com, so whatever the URL is.com, and then you just respond to it to prove it's yours, and you get the GMB, you get full control of the GMB, and you can change what you want inside it then. So it's a great way of doing it, and yeah, it works. I've been doing it for years.
And it's free.
Yeah, well, you're buying a domain name, it's $10 a year, but you can rank the
Yeah.
domain name because it's connected to the GMB.
Mm.
You put the same address and phone number and all the other stuff on as what's in the GMB. You're starting your own little network, which has been already running for years. So it really, really ranks much, much faster. We'll probably go through that. I will put some sort of... Anyway, let me not say any more about that because we've got some plans for that.
What we tend to find is that the ones that have dropped tend to be because the company is being conned by the likes of Yell. Because what you'll see if you look on the Wayback Machine for the thingy, you'll have powered by Yell at the bottom of the business. Because what tends to happen is Yell buys the domain name, Yell then charges the business a bloody fortune, and of course, you know, the GMB gets created and stuff like that, and then the business decides I don't want to pay anymore with Yell. They stop paying Yell, but then Yell keeps their domain name, and that's how like sort of I found that they normally go.
Yeah, Robert's right as well. The YouTube videos get indexed instantly. So if you put up YouTube videos with your links in the footer, it does help get them indexed. I've just seen a good question from Mary Fox.
Yeah.
Where do you look for expired domains and GMBs? I tell you what, Domain Hunter, I don't even think he's told anyone about it yet because I was going to promote it for him, but I might as well tell you he's on here now. GMB Hunter by Lloyd Farrell. He's added something into it where you can go and search and find. He's going to make loads of money off this. So you can go and search and find GMBs where the URL, when you click on the website link, it goes to a 404. So if you use Lloyd Farrell's GMB Hunter, you go out, search them, and find the ones that have got a 404 at the website. So it'll show you this one's website's a 404, which means that it's not linking to a site. So quickly you can go and make the search, find it, by the URL that it previously linked to, and set it all. He did this because I was talking to him about doing it, but I've not spoke to him in ages, so I'll just tell people go and buy his tool, it'll do it.
Is that in your members area, Mike?
It's in Lloyd's GMB Hunter tool. He added it on after what me and him had a chat about doing it the way we do it in the hybrid lead generation.
We'll be buying that now then.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
he added it. I've not seen his video on how it works yet, but he told me that it's been. I'd reach out to Lloyd first. Everybody should message Lloyd first just to make sure. But he told me it's been done and it's been added. So whether it's been pushed as an update yet, I don't know. But he definitely said it was being done, and he definitely told me it's been done. It's done. Did we all freeze?
No.
I'm just checking because I'm sure I've got Lloyd's GMB Hunter. So I'm just going to have a quick scan and see if it does actually work.
Yeah, I've got it. I never use it, mate. I just do my search terms and
I don't use it.
But he did add it, and he added it specifically for this, and I believe he's gone out and found a load of GMBs with it for his own lead generation business. But that's why he added it.
Certainly going to save a lot of time, isn't it?
Steve, I believe you have got somebody helping you with the themes that you're doing for Daryl's Farm now.
Yeah, me and Daryl did a live this week, and in the group for Daryl's Farm, and I had some very nice volunteers come on board who are going to help me with a lot of the themes, which is really exciting. And I've sent them all the locksmith one, and anyone who's in the group who saw the previous video, it was the last Sundays we did, I offered the locksmith one to everyone who was in the group there. So there's still a link available on that video, which I'll leave up for a little bit longer, where I might be nice enough to share it in our mass page group as well. And
what he's doing is he's trying to put me out of business. You know, he could have shared the plumber one, he could have shared the roof one, he could have shared the electrician. They're more popular, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to share Mike's industry and destroy his business in the same process. Thank you very much. I'm just about to delete him from our chat.
You're going to lock him out.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have words with you later. No, I'm joking. Share it in the group.
Yeah.
All right. Go on. Sorry, you were still talking. Then I really.
Yeah, but realistically, actually, it'd be better if we keep it in the mass page group in Daryl's Forms group, because you need Daryl's Form to be able to use the template. So if you're currently not in the group, then you might want to request to come on over before. Once this form goes live, once Daryl fully releases it, then there will be no further opportunities to test the form, and that's the only reason why I've given away the first one we've done, is so people can test it out and play around while we get all the others sorted. And I've got enough people on board. Sorry.
Because I got my first taste of Daryl's form on Sunday, and it was really bloody good. I mean, I used Daryl's template for the dynamic backlink builder because that's what I've been doing all day Sunday, and it was like sort of, oh shit, this is nice, and I've already got some ideas of how I'm going to plan that one out, because by using the form and the way Daryl's got it set up where you can actually save the form, I can set up a form now for locksmith, I can set up a form for pest control, I can set one up for plumbers. I can have all of the content in there. All I need to change is the location, and bang, I have now got a dynamic backlink build set. Change the location, got another one. Change the location, got another one. And it is that easy. So that's why I'm going to be changing all of the templates I've built for myself. I'm going to be sort of changing all of them to fit in with Daryl's form.
One of the cool things is you just showed the dynamic backlinks builder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the code that we build those dynamic backlinks builder pages and put them in as short codes. Okay, that'll spin. Like I remember, Mike, I demoed that for you like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, where we had different pages for each, different themes for each page. So what I want to do is make a bunch of those with like Mobirise or something like that, and put in the CSS that's standard across all of them. Okay, because we can lock in the CSS and then save the entire installation, right? And then we'll do a rotation Spintax shortcode inside of the basic template. So you have every single time that page loads, you have a totally different layout if you choose to. Otherwise, you'll have an X field that you can just put the X field in there, and then you'll always have that template. But it'll be as easy as just copy and paste an X field or copy and paste a Spintax shortcode, and you don't have to bother with CSS. You don't have to bother with any of that stuff because it'll all come in and pass through as an invisible field through my form over to MPP.
That rotating thing you did was awesome, mate. That way you show me where the tops of the websites rotate and all the middle bits rotate, and there was different background. It was brilliant, and that was for dynamic backlinks. So I mean, even if you create, right, you can create say a few hundred pages to upload to whatever upload sites you want to use. But if you don't interlink them all, they're actually all individual. And if you get good quality content, and apparently Keith reckons you can. There's now tools out there that you can get huge amounts of content really, really fast. I'm presuming you can rank these very, very easily as standalone pages, especially if you're putting them on places like Amazon and Google and things like that.
That's why I built mine so they look nice, because I've had mine ranked before. And it's like when I build mine, obviously I haven't for me pest control ones because I don't have forms, but the ones I build for my sort of sites, I put Lead Simplify forms on and a Lead Simplify phone number on, and they do get calls because they do rank, and that's why they've got to look good. It's like, you put a shit form up, it looks, unless you don't put your badge, your logos and stuff on, then that's fine. But if you're going to brand them, then basically you want them to look good because they do rank. Because don't forget, we're targeting bloody sort of locksmiths and things like that. We're not going against all these affiliate marketers who have got spending thousands on links and God knows what else. We're going against Joe Blogs down the road who just say put his website up, and that's what we targeted. So it's like these little things do rank.
So I mean, do you know what I like to do, which I don't know that many people do, but what I like to do is I like to put up my name, address, and phone number in thousands of different random places, whether they get indexed or not, right? So that they get put on all I don't give a shit whether I'm getting a backlink or whether I'm not from directory sites and things like that, because obviously Google sees the name, address, and postcode, and it ranks it, puts them all together. What if you was to actually, rather than doing thousands and thousands of links, I've not tested this, so I don't know if it'll work. I know it works with directories and I know it works with other types of things, right? But say you were to put in a load of content, right, regarding locksmiths in whatever area, or plumbers or roofers or whatever, and then you was to upload just a single document without interlinking them all, and in every single document you have your business's brand name, address, and phone number throughout the document, and don't even bother with any backlinks, right? I think that would actually increase your rankings, and I don't think Google would look at it and say, okay, this company's name, address, and postcode is all over these different documents that are all over these different IP addresses, like you said, all over Amazon, with all this spun content, and they seem to be getting mentioned in all these different things, but there's no backlink to the websites. I don't think Google would actually look at that and say, okay, because they're kind of concentrating on link spam, aren't they?
It would need a link. It would need
doesn't
one
need a
link
link.
at least.
It just needs indexing. Google.
It doesn't.
Google
It
just
doesn't know
see-
where it's going. It doesn't know what
It
it's
doesn't matter
going
about the link. This is what I'm trying to explain. It doesn't matter about the link. You know, when you go and put them on directory sites, right? You don't need a backlink from a directory site. If it's got your name, address, and phone number.
You get the link, but the link is a no follow. So Google knows it. Oh yeah, this
No,
goes to.
you're just
You
saying
don't need a link. This is what I'm trying to explain.
like a
to you.
mere mention.
Right.
Yeah, just a mention of it.
You get your name, address, and phone number, right, in a directory, and they all match. They're like they do on your GMB and they do on your website. It increases your rankings. It gives you more. It gives you the validity, right? And I've been doing that for fucking ages. But what I'm saying is, I wonder if the dynamic backlink builder could be used on Google and on what's the one called again? Amazon.
Amazon.
On Google and Amazon and all
that little business.
Yeah, tiny little business I forgot about. I wonder if you could do it rather than actually trying to generate tons and tons and tons and tons of backlinks. Just trying to generate thousands of documents with your name that's got relevant information regarding the industry, regarding whatever it's to do with, regarding this is how you install a boiler, this is how you do underfloor heating, this is how you do this, and all the way under we recommend using this company, this address, this phone number. Don't put any backlinks in there. So Google's not looking at it and thinking to itself, these bastards are trying to scam us because they're getting thousands of backlinks, so we'll drop the websites. It's just pure mentions everywhere about you, because I know for a fact it works with directory listings and things like that, but I don't know for a fact it works doing it that way. I've not proper tested it yet.
I think that's got to be worth running some tests on, because Google does recognize entities when it sees something that matches up. It says while it's trying to decipher what it's looking at, it used to be called a knowledge graph. I don't know exactly what they call it nowadays, but it stores everything in an entity. So it's, this thing is a business. It has similar to what schema markups, like it's got an address, and it matches all those things together, and it recognizes, actually, we're talking about this entity, which we know this entity holds this website. So the ranking power from that, or the boost in the algorithm, wherever that comes in, should then translate across to your website without the possibility of any penalization or penalties for negatively associated activities like link spamming and stuff like that.
Jeff says it best, doesn't it? So you believe in breadcrumbs for Google to find and build your implied backlinks.
Yeah.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about NAP, yeah, and they all say, oh, everywhere that you've got it, you need your NAP the same, your NAP the same, your NAP the same. But nobody ever says you don't need a backlink. But this has been something that's worked for a long, long time without backlinks. But I've only ever tried it on established sites and like getting your free listings there, and everywhere. I've never actually tested it, but actually doing it as a document upload where you just fire thousands of different unique documents all over the place, and every single one of them has your name, address, and phone number in different places. I always say name, address, and postcode, so I don't know how many times I've said it wrong on here, but what I mean is name, address, and phone number.
It probably wouldn't work anywhere else other than Google, though. So you wouldn't get the juice from it in any of the other search engines, if there are any other search engines that.
Well, if it gets indexed, the page gets indexed, and you're providing relevant information, then I can't see any reason why it won't work with rankings that way.
All other search engines look at Google anyway. I've put sites up in the past where I haven't even listed them on any other search engine apart from Google, and then I've gone to Bing and they're number one on Bing, and they're number one on Yahoo and all the others, because they all look at Google. And Mike, what you're saying, I reckon does work, because I've seen that some GMBs ranking without any websites, number one, right? And they haven't got a website. They don't own a website.
Yeah.
And yet when you look around, you see other sites like Yelp and Yell and all those listing these companies. So it must give some sort of link juice. Otherwise, that citation, the GMB would not be in the free pack.
I'm going to throw one more thing out there besides the address and phone number. Get a company slogan that is unique to your company and use that on all those pages, because it's the same kind of thing. Every time you mention, like I just saw a divorce lawyer, he goes by that bald guy divorce lawyer or something like that, and he always ties it in with his name, address, phone number, right? And so when you did a search, like over in the right side, you have those keyword searches from some of these SEO tools. That was one of the searches, the bald divorce lawyer over to the side. And so it just, you clicked on it, and you know that's what came over. So I would think of also, if you have a slogan, put it into your website, put it into all of those types of non-SEO SEO tactics, and then see what happens.
Yeah, it's a known technique, Robert. Yeah, Robert's just said there, putting your NAP into YouTube video description creates free citations. It does, it really does. But what I've not seen people doing, I know we all go after citations from all different places, but I've not seen anybody doing it with the way when we upload these documents, we all have this thing where we think it's tied to the URL, but maybe it's not so tied to the URL anymore, because people are ranking things without backlinks these days, and it's all to do with content, and it's all to do with mentions online, and so on and so forth.
It's also to do with locality, being local. If you're running a business, you know, it's no good trying to do a national one. You're better off having lots of small local businesses that are maybe named all differently across your region, rather than one national one. And it seems to work a lot better. Google's looking at looking after local businesses now.
Also, look at your top fold, like the very first section of your content. Make sure that you put this kind of stuff up there, because that's where the initial crawls are going to, is the very first amount of information. So try to always use that to your advantage.
That's why it's good to have Schema on board, because that's read straight away by the Google bot. And obviously, if you've got your NAP in there, you've got all your, like I just mentioned there, your core citations. You've got core citations in your schema, and you've got like sort of your services in your schema and things like that. Then Google's gonna be looking at it.
Clint Butler's just done a really good course on schema. I don't know if he's adding to it after thingy, but if anyone's interested in learning about schema and how it does really help ranking, because everyone's posting around saying schema doesn't rank, but it does. Clint's just done Clint Butler, he's called. He's in our Facebook group. He's a really good SEO guy.
I wonder if we could get Clint to do like one class in our boot camp, or just an hour in one class.
Nah, man, he's busy as out, man. He's really busy. We won't asking.
I'll ask him. I talked to him. I'll ask him. I'll tell you it.
One of my sites, I added the WP Schema plugin to it because it wasn't ranking very well. Yeah, I had plenty of citations out there, and I borrowed the schema information from another site and then adjusted it for my benefit, and the site moved on to page 1. So it goes to show. I had a website that was stuck on. I think it was stuck at the bottom of page 2, and I was building citations up and all sorts, and it just wasn't shifting. And I added your WP Schema plugin, Mike, to it. I borrowed the schema information as you do from another well-known site in my niche. Changed the name, address, and phone number and bits I needed to change, and just left it on there. And it moved. 3 weeks later, it was on the bottom of page 1. It's now halfway up.
Shit, just by adding schema.
Yeah, and I had loads of citations linking. I was doing well with the GMB, just not with the domain name. And all thanks to adding that scheme, it made a difference. So it does work.
I know it does. That's why I built the tool.
And it saves a shite load of time.
Schema
What we
does
plan to
work.
do, one of the things we plan to do with our form is have an export for the schema, advanced schema inside of Mike's tool. So you'll be able to take my export from my form that takes all the keywords, niche names, and puts it all into schema, and then you import it into Mike's tool, and then you can manipulate it all inside of Mike's tool, just as you see it with those diagrams and stuff, and you can move it all around because it's compatible. It'll be compatible with the import that he needs for that.
You don't
So-
even need an import. They can just copy the code. You know the JSON.
Yeah.
You can just click a
Yeah,
copy
copy
JSON
code.
paste.
But that's if somebody already has it. But I'm saying to grab it from the form that you filled out once on my site, to be able to grab that code and be able to bring it into your form to manipulate it even further. So then, if you're the original, there's nobody else that has as good a schema. You've taken it from my form and you've taken all the keywords and all of the things that you need for an advanced schema, not the simple schema. You'll be able to take that, put it into your tool, and then dissect it and make changes to it inside of your schema tool. So it's really awesome that you have the import on that.
The import is absolutely big because I use that because basically I'll export my all my X fields from my main site. I then import them into the dynamic background builder, which is then basically I've got all my fields which are filling the actual content. Then underneath I've got all of my schema already filled in for us because I've just took the schema from one site to the other and boom, there you go. Yeah, it's just like awesome.
What Evan's saying there, we used to do that back in 2011 and 12. And it did when we used to do a lot on paid ads. We used to switch the URLs around to get our newer URLs indexed. I didn't know it still worked, but it's super. And Google, if you Google will actually give you, just for setting up, $75 a free, or £75 in the UK. It's probably $100 in the States.
Yeah.
A free ads.
You have to spend $25 or
brilliant.
pounds to get it.
Do you?
You do. But what I do is I set it all up and I set it to the bare minimum. Per click, a penny a click, right? And I leave it because on average, Google will go, well, you're not spending enough, but it still ends up plonking you at the top there at times. It rotates them, so you get seen anyway for a penny a click. You'd have to compete, and it also is paying Google something, which helps it index the site. So you just leave you get £75 plus the 25 on top, and the same in dollars, whatever it is they do over there, and it just means that you could have £100 worth of clicks, penny a time, and just leave it. I've done that loads, and it's helped rank the site.
We better save.
A lot of mine.
Yeah, we better save some secrets for other shows, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna run out.
I don't have any secrets.
He does. That's a green screen behind Mike, really.
You stay under the desk or I'll kill you. Except that one. Right, guys, we've been on a while, an hour. Have we got any customers on here who's got any problems or need any help with any questions that they're struggling with? I know we've been chatting about SEO and stuff. I'm looking forward to the bootcamp tomorrow. Alan's just popped in, content is king. Many plugins makes your WP website clunky. Too many plugins, yeah, it certainly does, mate.
Yeah, certainly does.
All I have on my site is MPP. I use WordFence security just as extra security, and SEO Press for the SEO part, and that is it. I don't put anything else on there. You know, I let it run, and then on my sites that I do content, then I run I forgot what the plugin's called. I think it's like WP Automatic that shares out to social media, and then I put a little post on there back to my money site. But it makes your sites load faster, and also with what Daryl's doing with the images, the site's going to load even faster again. And speed of the site's important, and name, address, and phone number.
Do you know what, right? I don't actually know how important speed is, right, for ranking, because I've got a mate who's really, really good at SEO, but, right, he prefers Divi to Elementor, and he uses Divi, and Divi's slow as out. Everybody knows it takes ages to load the page. The thing is, But if I went against him, he'd outrank me every single time, right? Now he does use Elementor for some of these sites, but I've seen him build and rank Divi sites left, right, and center, and they're not fast. They load slow. The pages don't load as quick. The images are big, but he'd still outrank me and probably most people that we know very, very easily. I don't know how important it is.
I'll tell you
don't
why
think
he's
it's
probably
important.
outranking you. It's because it's user experience rather than speed. So if you've got a site that is absolutely horrible and no one can see it very well because the colours are bad and the text isn't relevant, then you're not going to rank it. But if the users go on there and they like what the content there and they stay there for a little while and they're reading down, then Google says, well, they stayed there for 2-3 minutes. That must be a good site. Compared to someone who goes and they goes, oh, this is rubbish. I'm leaving within 10 seconds.
But that's not the situation. We're talking about emergency services here. So literally, they're going to come on and click your phone number because they've locked out their house. They've got shit coming out the toilets. They've got water coming through the roof, something like that. It's not a site where they're going to spend 15, 20 minutes. Me and him rank local business sites and emergency services and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen him be able to by far outrank pretty much anyone I put him against. And he uses his preferred site is Divi. So I don't know.
It could be server-side caching as well. Some people are using Nginx and Lightspeed, and even with Divi, those things just absolutely crush it and give you some performance. Kind of what I call as a snappiness rather than a page load speed. You sort of have this really snappy experience, which is, I think, probably better than just what your site speed is. You just have this really snappy loading of everything. Without any kind of like weird CSS hiccups and things like that some of these critical CSS things cause. And that is, I think, better of an experience than just saying, oh yeah, my site loads in 0.6 seconds, but it's all like it's clunky,
Right, I've just seen a few questions here, right? I'm just going to read these first. I know I just popped Jeff's up there. He was just telling us speed is one of the metrics, but it's not the sole metric. Another way is to register one generic Google domain, as Google index them soon as they up, then have your other site listed on that site. That's a good idea. But Jack's just put something in. I've not read it all yet, but he said, I use testimonial plugin to randomize customer testimonials on MPP page, and it adds schema as well for a testimonial. Don't think Google adds the stars anymore. No, they don't with that. But you know what? That testimonial plugin that you're talking about there, right? You could actually write 10 or 15 different pages of content inside the testimonials tool. And when it's randomizing them and spinning through them, putting only one on each page, you're actually randomizing your page content completely. I just seen it and I thought, oh, you could actually do that. And I'm not 100% sure. It might be how we did it with the directory domination strategy that we did.
It just got me thinking about my form and changing around that testimonials to make it schema oriented. That would be great, Jack. I love that idea. To just take it, splice it up into the pieces that we need for schema, and then build the front end of the form to have the testimonials show up, so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I love that.
As much as possible.
What's the plugin, Jack?
Like schema our videos. What? Oh, it's a plugin. I can do it with Project Supremacy. I don't know what Jack's doing.
Right, guys. Anyone that's having any problems or got any questions? I know we've been on an hour.
I did want to show just one thing from my form. I don't think that we got a chance. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, man, of course you can.
We'll make it quick, I promise.
Take your time, mate. I'm not in any rush.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Jack. Cheers. If you post it up, mate, that'd be handy because I'll have a play with that.
All right. Cool.
It's all yours.
All right. Cool. So on the form, a couple of things. One, Mike had asked for us to have some of the adjectives and the call to actions and things like that defaulted. So we're doing that. We're like where it says place benefit 1 here. That's going to automatically come through on the form. and we're going to have a set of default adjectives like, professional, best, all of those kinds of things. So if you leave this blank, it'll just kind of fill it in. And we're going to have explanations on each section. So there'll be like sections grouped out. All of this stuff is going to be improved so that you can see it. Like just more easy to fill out, and little videos and stuff to explain everything. So that's something we're doing after I get all the features set up in here. But what I wanted to call attention to today is this send to client. So this is something, Mike, you definitely want to pay attention to, because you were asking about this before. You can fill this out, the GMB or whatever information you have, and then you can send the form to a client, and you put in their name, and then they'll fill it in, and the form will come back to them, filled in by them, and then you can place it onto MPP. So
one sec. So what happens is you click send to client.
Yeah.
The client receives the form. They fill in the form. They click submit, and it'll come back to you and be inside your system.
Yes. Yeah.
Lazy bastard.
That's what happens when you have Steven helping you out. You come up with things like this.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool as hell.
Let me tell you one cool thing about this. Let me just fill this out, okay, real quick. We'll just put in dentistry. I don't know. We'll just do this. Let's say this is your client, right? And you're gonna have them fill it out, right? I'm gonna send this to Daryl, and we'll send it to Ledyard@Vector.com. That's just a thing. And then please fill this out for our meeting.
Are you sending that to a real email address?
Yeah, that's a real email address. I'm going to show you what happens.
So you're going to open it. Okay,
yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so fill it out for a meeting, and then we'll put in the password is 111. Okay, we're going to send it, and it's now being sent. Okay, so let's say we'll go to our codes, and all this stuff is getting cleaned up. So now I'm going to go into my email, and I'm going to refresh. And here it is. So this says to the client, website builder form for dentistry at the Heights, but it's white labeled so that you don't know it's coming from MassPage at all. It's coming from builderform.net, which we just kind of came up with a generic name, and in the email comes from you. So whoever's account it is, this would say Mike Martin here, and it would be Mike Martin, admin at builderform.net. And you just click on the form, and it's going to come into here, and they're going to fill this out. Now up here where it says MassPage, it's going to say Mike Martin, and it'll say builderform.net. They can see this. They'll have all the instruction videos and what to do. They fill out the rest of the information. Once they go down here, they have the option to save it, continue to work on it, or just submit it. So when they submit it, okay, it's going to go back to you with a message. Hold on a second. Congratulations, dentistry has submitted a form on MassPage Forms. Congratulations, they've submitted a form for dentistry of the Heights. You click on this, and now you've got the form that they filled out.
So basically, let's say you're buying content, right? And they say, what type of content do you need? And then you just send them a message saying, fill this form in and make sure I've got 2,000 words of content and it's all perfect. And then you're done, aren't you?
Yeah, you could do that.
And you could actually pull in your GMB first so that they could see what GMB it was relating to. So they could write the content based on the... So purchasing content's super simple now, because you have to give them any information, and your form's going to have in placeholders everywhere that tells them exactly how to fill in the form. So they're not even going to need to learn anything. You just send it to them and say, fill that in and send it me back. If it's decent, I'll pay you. If it's crap, I won't, type of thing.
You could do that, or you could fill in what you want and then tell the client to fill in the about us information, the summary, and you do the keyword research for them, right? You tell them, can you place your best top 4 benefits in those sections there, please? And you have everything else filled out, because you do everything you can as an agency. Then you hand it over to them and just have them fill in the rest. Well,
when I was growing my lead gen business, right, this would have skyrocketed my leads, because I literally would have said to because I had people answering the calls for me, right, and they were getting paid based on a per lead basis. So they convert somebody on the phone, and I give them 20%, right? something like that, I'd have said to him, right, so when you're not answering calls, get on there and fill in that information all day. And every time you fill one in, I'll give you an extra $5. But it has to have like 1,500 words on it, a decent English content, because obviously they're all English speaking. So, and they probably can all spell better than I can, because even my little boy can. He was teaching me the other day about, I'm not even going to tell you, it's embarrassing, and he's 9. But so that there, I could have proper skyrocketed my business with that, because literally, even if you've got your telesales staff, your phone answering staff, you've got whatever people you've got working for you can fill in forms all day long for you while they're not doing anything, rather than them just sitting there twiddling the thumbs saying, I'm just going to go on Facebook, or I'm just going to do this, or I'm just going to mess around, because you're not giving them anything to do. Whenever they've got something not to do, you just get them filling in extra forms. And then
you can have a separate person creating MPP sites out of them, just because they know maybe more the working around with the, yeah.
But you only need one MPP site, don't you? You need one theme for your industry. Every time you get your new fresh content, you click a button, upload, submit, set your central location, click save, and you've got a brand new spanking website, perfect for all the areas you want to cover. Then someone fills in another one.
Yeah, that's right.
Pay a $5 or a $10 for your content.
I didn't think of this.
Yeah, you $5 or a $10 for your content. That's why when you said it, then I was like, lazy bastard.
Whoa.
But straight away, I started thinking, holy shit, this is super scalable, because $5 or a $10 for your content, and literally, if you pay somebody to do it once a day, right? Somebody will work in the Philippines and they'll fill in one form a day for a $10 a day. It costs you $50 a week, and you've got brand spanking new 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 page websites over and over and over and over again. And all you're doing is jumping on. You know, what was that 4-hour work week?
Yeah.
You just figured it out, mate, because all you've got to do is get the form, upload, save, done.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't for coronavirus, I wouldn't have this much downtime to do this kind of programming and stuff with the developer. But I mean, I'm going over the top on this, and it seems like we're building a monster that's going to be helpful. Tim Reese put up a question here about the Spintex. I've got some good news for you guys on Spintex.
Wait, one sec. Let's see the other questions first, because Jack's just posted and said it's called Easy Testimonials Pro. It's free. I have a widget that will display a random testimonial with the schema. Page will load. You can add Spintex to it.
I want to take a look at that.
To it if you wanted to, but I don't. You should rip it off your tool. Blog post widget sites randomize the page load. Google sees the right. So I'm going to
one of my clients. I use a product that pulls in all of the testimonials across the internet, across Google, across Facebook, half the other sites that are out there, and it auto displays them all. And I've been testing that over the last couple of months, and it's improved his rankings already.
Well, what's this? What Evan's saying here, right? If your sites are new, one easy way to rank is create a Medium blog to your keyword with good long articles, then have your new site linked to it, and copy the same blog post and create a Google Blogger for the same keywords. You will have 2 listings on a page.
Medium with a capital M. He's talking about the actual blog called Medium, and that is a really good tip, Evan. That's a really good tip.
Medium, right? So there is a blog called Medium, because that's kind of I lost it a little bit.
Very authoritative, and I have actually seen this in practice. And it's I mean, if you're doing PR articles and you're not including a Medium article in there, you're crazy, because that I've seen just with that and maybe a couple other ones how effective they can be. I think sometimes with PR articles, you can go too far with that. By doing 100 PR public relations press releases is actually, I think, a bad idea. It's almost better to find a few winning nuggets like what he's talking about here, and then do what he's saying is to clone it so that it's actually like you're sort of emphasizing the importance of the Medium authority on that article. So it's good.
Okay, this is a question about Tim that you was about to answer. Just let me say, all right, if I'm paying a tenner for content and I can build a website a day, I honestly don't give a shit about spinning it. I literally don't care about spinning it. One website, right? Once you've built it, and if it takes you 15 minutes to build it, and let's say you spend 1 hour a week ranking it.
Yeah.
That's that the potential of that website is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every single year, like tens of thousands a year from one website, very, very easily, right? With initial 15 minutes work and then 10 minutes content. Although you could probably get them to add the spin text, I think that's a false, I don't know what they call it, like a false, it seems like you're getting more, but I believe you're actually getting less, because I know we all like to spin it because we can generate loads of unique pages and all the rest of that. But if we can spin it, then Google can unspin it 1,000,000 times as fast. Spin text is great, it's good, and it works. But realistically, for a tenner for your content or something like that, I don't think I'd even bother. Would you? I just go one site a day.
Yeah, I think it's an 80-20 thing where Google is not caring about whether it's spin text or not. They care mostly, the 80% is that they care about it being very good, readable, helpful content. The minute it's just gobbledygook spin text return, that's where you get your banning. It's not like Google sitting there saying, well, how did they spin this from the other thing? And how did that get spun from that thing? That it's not doing that. It's just reading the output of it. And if the output is poor, then that's where you're going to have problems with using spin text. So what you're saying is you're almost better off having duplicate content that reads well than having totally unique content. And I can totally agree with that. But
I'm not even saying that. If you're paying a tenner for your content and you're getting a full website out of it, build one unique website. The next day you get more content, and then you put that on another website, and the next day you get more content. It's costing you £50 a week or $50 a week, right?
Yeah.
Content. So you're spending $200 a month on content, and that's generating 100% unique websites every single month, right? Which can cover 100 areas, 200 areas each. Why would you even bother spinning it if you can do it for $200? What your form enables you to do, right, rather than spending tons of time messing around doing all that, is you get the form filled in, right, with say 1,500, 2,000 words or whatever it is that the content's going to be, and then you upload it to a website. The next day they send you another form complete, and you upload it to a different website, and then the next day they send you another form and you upload it. So literally it's taking you maybe 15 minutes a day work, and by the end of the week you've got 5 absolutely 100% unique, perfect websites, right? By the end of a month you've got 20. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even going to start trying to work out by the end of the year and all that. You've got a lot of websites, right? And it's taking you no time at all. It's literally, it becomes a part-time business with the themes, with what Stephen's doing, with what your form's going to do, a Magic Page plugin. It's kind of, and obviously Lead Simplify that converts it all to cash without you doing anything. It kind of is a 15-minute a day business. That's your business. That's all you need to do. Plus maybe a few hours SEO a week, link building and stuff like that. But by the time you start generating money, you outsource that. You literally don't even need to work for a living.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention about the spin text, because there was some controversy about whether we would include it or not. I have some good news in that we've made a contact with the owner of Word AI. And what we're trying to do is work out something so that we can actually handle giving people a quantity of words that they can have complimentary, but they'll also be able to put in their API keys and do it unlimited off of their API keys. So sort of the best of both worlds. They'll be able to have the Spin Rewriter API that they can put in. They'll have Word AI that they can put in their own API. Plus, we'll give them so many words each month just on us for their membership to use as well.
I don't think Spin Rewriter. I don't think Spin Rewriter limits you. If you've got a lifetime account, I think it's $500.
It's unlimited on lifetime.
Yeah, unlimited.
On the API though, sometimes it's just on the actual web app.
I'm pretty sure it's unlimited, and I don't think I'm pretty sure Ranking Factory and that use their own Spin Rewriter API inside their tools for everybody, and they've never had a problem. So unless you've got 50,000 people using it every day, I don't think it'd be an issue. I think you could probably, if you've got a lifetime account, I'm pretty sure you can add it. And I can't remember there being a limit at all on that one.
Something else I use is Social Auto Poster. So when you create a blog post, it automatically shares out to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Tumblr. I'm trying to remember. There's 2 others I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's a free. To my knowledge, it's a free plugin. So it's Social Auto Poster, and you can just send it all out to social media channels. Anything you post, give you more backlinks.
How many different channels can you connect it to?
There's a total of, if I remember right, about 7 or 8, I think.
And
I
you
was
can
just
do
trying
it,
to look
every
for
single
it.
post can go out to every single one.
Oh, yeah, so you post in WordPress and then it shares it out automatically to all the others.
What's that called again?
So
Social.
it's called Social Auto Poster. I can get the link and share it, actually, I think, if I find it. There we are. Well,
So Eric's just shared that medium.com URL as well, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Quora.com is another for answering questions and getting links. Do you know what? There was someone else who brought out something similar to Quora before they did. I was reading a book. I can't remember what the book's called. And they paid people, right, for answering questions and doing stuff. And Quora for somehow, I don't know, has beat them and put them out of business. And they don't give you anything, do they? They just give you badges, I think.
I sent you that link, Mike, on the private chat.
Was it WikiHow or something like that? That the other one.
Oh, I can't remember. The book was called Indistractable. The guy also wrote a book called Hooked, and I was reading that. I've started it this week, and I was reading it. I was thinking, no way, man, because this type of things you think would bring people in doesn't actually work. Do you guys have content writer recommendations? Having a hard time finding someone that can not only write killer articles but also provide context on top. I spent a lot of money on one person and it didn't work out very well. And my other guy who works for me had to think, I tell you who did me quite a lot of absolutely perfect content that was really good was a guy called Alan Fordyce. He created quite a lot pretty quick, and when he did it for me, it was really good. He's in our group. I've not really, I think the content, I think the problem is, right, you get your first one and it's brilliant, you get your second one, it's brilliant, you get your third, fourth, fifth, and then you get to like 25, 26, and the guys' minds are gone. So when you're doing it on a mass scale, it's very difficult to keep getting the same ones. I tend to write my own, but Alan did really well for me. And I think he's from the UK, so he's English speaking.
I did used to use Text Broker a lot, going back a few years. I've not used them for a couple of years, but you can choose and the quality of your content that you want as well. You can choose the length of content and then the quality. So you get, people who write PhDs down to simple, cheap. And the pricing is fairly good thing, but Text Broker, and that service has been going for years. I'm assuming they're still going. I've probably not used
on
them
Mike's
for
recommendation. I got Phrase, and I take content from that, and
awesome,
it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and what I loved about the Unlimited one is you're able to have a total of 3 people on it, including yourself. So I had one of the members reach out to me, and I shared the cost with them. So yeah,
and what was it about $100 and you
something like that? Yeah, So I did. I split it into three ways and charged them a third of the cost of the item. So I'm quite happy to sell the third one as well. A cheap plug there.
Yeah, Jesus. I'll send you my third one, Martin. I meant to do that, but I forgot. Me and Dave have got one. I'd never have thought of splitting the cost. I'd have just bought it and then give it away, but I'm probably not the best at right. Would you run them through Copyscape to make sure the content is unique?
You're talking about your form. If they filled out my form, your tenor people.
Definitely, shit, yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
they don't get paid if they grabbed it somewhere.
It's getting more and more thingy as well. I mean, I keep running out of credits on Copyscape because I've been testing loads of stuff recently. But yeah, I definitely would run it through Copyscape. You want to? They've got plagiarism somewhere, haven't they, as well, so that you can also check if people are ripping off your site. So yeah, you can end up in problems if. What's this? Somebody sent a message. Investor themes, social auto.
Oh, that was me in the private chat. But then Tim Judge very kindly found the Code Canyon link to the social auto poster. So he's put that up in the chat there, which you can share that in a moment.
Can you go over the duplicating of your MPP API for your sites? I think I don't know what you mean, Dale. If you mean the duplicate sites where we use the evergreen site model? That's a big over. There's quite a lot of videos. If you type in evergreen site model, in fact, I bet if you type in evergreen site model in YouTube, it'll come up. Let me check.
Does Dale mean maybe duplicating your actual MPP site itself? Because it's sort of saying duplicating of your MPP API. You might have to elaborate on that, maybe.
I think he's talking about buying an API off of you, Stephen, over to the side. You know
I wouldn't give my API away for love
he
or
wants you
money.
to duplicate it and give it to him. That doesn't happen.
Do you know what? Now we've moved to PKS. Yeah, Evergreen website, step-by-step training, webinar. Hey, yeah, my video comes up top. I've just put an Evergreen site model in YouTube, and the top 2 videos are me on mine. So yeah, they're in there. You just look for my name, and then a bit further down, there's quite a few more of mine. So if you just type in Evergreen site model in YouTube, you'll get that. So do you know like we've moved over to PKS? I know we've got the ability now to do agency licenses with MPP. Would that be something people would want? Because I've never bothered, so you can actually give them their own API key and sell it the site so that you're not having to. Would that help people?
Yeah, nice feature.
There's a single site license. If I could put that into a client site.
Yeah, I don't want to do single site licenses. What I'd do is I'd do an agency setup so that you've got a certain amount of URLs, or maybe you have unlimited APIs, but you've
with an agency version, would there be a way of us being able to, like, if a customer stops paying you could go in and go dunk delete, you're not having the API anymore?
Yeah, you'd have to send me the API or Keith and tell us, or Martin, but yeah, you could do that. You just submit a ticket saying, can you cancel this API on my account? And then, we'd just be able to cancel it for you. I don't know how it would work. You might have to, I'd have to look into it, but I'm pretty sure we can do it now. We can issue up to 100 API keys in one sale. So that might help. But the thing is, I don't want to go back to doing the single site APIs because they're an absolute nightmare. But the other one, sorry, I just went off subject there. It popped into my head. I thought, you know what? We've never even considered doing an agency license where people can actually sell the sites, or you can rent the sites out on a monthly basis for all your different people. So you could have 100 clients all renting the sites off you every single month. It's costing you a small amount each month, and you're charging them $100, $200 a site each. It rapidly becomes a pretty big business, and they're all individuals. So you could actually then remind me about that, Martin. We'll set that up if enough people are interested in it. This roadmap with both products is nuts. Yeah, it's cool, man, isn't it, Vincent? I can't wait for the thingy to start now. Daryl's form's not going to be ready for it, which we kind of expected because he keeps falling behind, and it's not like he's doing any work.
Nothing, doing nothing here.
But we're not going to need it the first few weeks anyway. And once it is ready, we'll start looking into it. But the boot camp's going to start tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm going to do it a similar format to this. I might do some screen sharing and talking through a few bits. But I want all of our people to interact and get on and chat like we are doing on here and help one another and support each other throughout the bootcamp, because I think it's going to give best results. It's not like one person knows everything or one person knows better than everybody else. I think there's a lot of knowledge in our group. There's a lot of really smart people. And there's a lot of people, when I speak to them, they blow my mind with the stuff they're doing. And if we can get them into the bootcamps, it's worth paying them to be there. Hence why I'm happy to give everyone complete refunds as long as they take it serious and they're involved and they're not thingy. And so that's why we're doing it that way. And the next one we're going to have twice as many people because this filled up in a couple of hours. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Tim's put that in there. I'm just clicking through. You could put anything you wanted in here, we'd share it because I don't read it before I pull it up. You can make up to 500 API requests per day. Right, that seems for me, right?
Yeah, that's the API.
That's plenty, though, isn't it? I mean, realistically, unless they want to put their own in, you could add a thingy one. I don't know. I'll throw it out there. Daryl's thinking, I'm not spending $500.
I have the lifetime. I have the lifetime of that, so I could always add that in too, and rotate
go.
them, I guess.
I just put mine in as well if you want. I don't use it that often. You stick my one in and your one, and we can rotate them both.
Yeah.
Matt from DMV to integrate this stuff into his system too. That I know for a fact is exactly what Matt's working on doing. He's definitely working on integrating what he does with Magic Page and Lead Simplify. I don't even think he knows this form exists yet, and I've not spoken to him about it yet because it's not ready. So there's no point in me getting on a call with Matt and saying, check this out, because it'll be like, okay, it's a form. What else does he do? But once it works and we can show him some people like to see results, don't they? So once it's ready, we'll definitely be speaking to Matt about it. Writers groups on Facebook before hearing them give them comedy projects to test them. That's also a good idea. I'm actually in tons of copywriting groups on Facebook. PKS, Tim is Pay Kickstarter or paykickstart.com. I know this isn't related to today's topic. However, I'm a newbie to the group and setting up an API keys in my dashboard, but GCP
Google Control Panel or
is requiring I set up oath consent screen about my application, but don't DK. Are you swearing? Don't know.
Don't know what to use.
Oh, geez.
It's in the form on both of them. They've got actually. It's the email one. There's a little form at the bottom, a PDF, which will show you how to do it. There's also the link to my video, which basically walks you through it step by step, how to set up the email and how to set up your Google Maps API.
Have you got a link for that video?
Oh, not yet, no.
I say it's just a Google
It's inside
Cloud.
it's inside the system. It's inside the system.
Inside? What
It should be
system?
inside Lead Simplify, or it's inside the Facebook group. Probably couldn't.
Let me see if I can pull the link out now. 1 second.
Nice one.
I assume they're talking about adding Google API into Lead Simplify, and
It's either
now,
their email or the Google Maps.
when you follow the link in Lead Simplify, it takes you to a page where you've got to carefully look for the sign up. I've forgotten what the text says on there, and you click on that, and then it takes you to another page, which you click on something else, and then the third page is Get Started, and it's sort of a jump across 3 pages to get to the Get Started page, and then that's the point when on the video that Mike did, the 3 boxes pop up which you tick, and then you sign up.
Looks like Martin's just. Did you just share it as me, Martin?
Yeah.
He really has got control of me, and it's like, yeah.
So it's all right. I'm not going to Facebook rape you yet, but maybe later on.
I just see my name pop up, and I thought I didn't share anything. How's he done that? Evil. Oh God, that's scary.
So that's a link to the troubleshooting guide. Keith, where's your video? Is it in the help
will
and
be in the
resources section?
I think that's where we put it. You just put one in, did you, Mike?
No, what? I didn't put anything in. Martin did it. I don't even know how he's got into my account.
No,
but
you
there
put,
we
you
go.
put it in.
He
You
knows
put one in
everything.
the other day.
Oh
You
right,
put one
you want
in the
about
other
in the Ah right, okay.
Help and resources section, yeah.
All right, it's in the help and resources section. Okay, well I've got a playlist of that as well on my YouTube channel. So 1 second, I know what you're talking about now.
Do you want me to copy the link to the playlist and post it as you, Mike?
This is like Big Brother's watching you, but he's there. I can see him doing it right live now. 1 sec. Let me go to my playlists. Lead Simplify first time setup process. Was it that one?
That'll be the process. That'll be where it's at. There's adding a Gmail, or adding your email, and also adding your Google Maps API. If you can't find them in your playlist, they are in the actual Facebook group under the units tab.
I think
I'll
people
put-
are getting a little
I'm
bit
doing both of them.
confused. because
Actually,
the link
both on
in
my side.
because of the link in Lead Simplify. If Martin, if you have a spare moment and go to that link in Lead Simplify control panel where you for the Google API and you click on it, you've got to click through 3 pages before you get into the point where you get the 3 boxes up.
Does it take you
It's
straight
tr-
to the help page?
No,
on-
it's the get started things. The top right, you click on get started, and then you click the 3 boxes.
I tell you what we'll do.
It's changed slightly.
Steve,
I'll get-
I'll jump on with you a bit later on. When we finish this, I'll probably
Yeah.
jump. I'm going to eat my pizza that I was
That's
going to
cool.
eat before we started.
I'll
but it's
have
freezing
to
cold.
repeat myself, and then we'll jump on. I'll show
Yeah.
you.
So I'll have a chat with Mike, and then we'll jump on Teams
Do
or
me a
Skype
favour,
or something.
If
Yeah.
you go through the process, record it. I can do the voiceover for you, but it saves us having to re-record it because then we can add it. So if you record what you're doing, and then we can cut the bits that you don't want to share with people, and we can post that video. So whoever that
Yeah, we'll do
Facebook
that.
user was, that'll get sorted. Do any of you build drive stacks for lead gen? Example, Gsite, Gdocs, etc. Yeah, I think you taught me a bit about this. I forgot his name now. That's so bad in it when I can't remember someone's name. It's called Brian. Cato was teaching me all about it. They do it a lot over at the Ranking Store, and they've got some really cool ways of doing it. I don't necessarily do it that much myself because I keep things simple, but I have seen it done, and Brian Cato was really, really good at it. I don't think it's necessary for these type of sites. Unless you're going after a lawyer or some sort of doctor industry or plastic surgery, you can win, which we'll go through in the boot camp. You can win without going too in depth. So what I've done is I've gone through a lot of the things people need and I've taken most of what's needed, what people are telling you to do out that's not necessary, and you can win very, very easy by just following what we're going to do in the boot camp. And the videos will be made available for people afterwards, but we obviously, if you want to be involved in thingy, you need to be one of the 25.
I build J sites and I build bloggers, but I don't go as far as like building the drives, the Google Docs and the Google Sheets and the Google, like all the other ones. I'll build the drive stacks and the bloggers, and I'll build like a Tumblr and I'll build a WordPress to them, and I use them as my web too. So that's what I do.
Okay, guys. Anybody got any more questions, or are we done for the day? Can Martin have his pizza? I've got to jump on with you after this, Martin. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, give me a call straight away, pal.
It seems right. Everybody, thank you for turning up. Thank you for being. Wow, it's nearly 2 hours again. We really seem to make it last, don't we? We wing it every week. Right, guys. For those who are going to be at the boot camp tomorrow, I will see you on live 8 p.m. UK time. I've got 30 people in the email address. For some reason, I don't know why, 2 people purchased at the exact same time, and so it's added 26 people to the boot camp instead of 25. Don't know how it worked, but the 2 last people must have purchased simultaneously. So there's actually 26 people in it, not 25.
So we're looking for somebody to drop out day one, right?
We see who turns up, mate. We might go in there and it'll just be us, and we're like, oh shit, that didn't work. But we see. But yeah, I'll send an email out to everybody on there tomorrow, just reminding you what time it is. I'll probably send it about 4 p.m, so that'll be 4 hours before. Keep your eyes out for the email, just so you know when to get on. And it's going to be the similar format to what we're doing right here. So you're going to be on screen. We're all going to be on screen. We're going to be chatting. I'll do a bit of a presentation at the beginning, and then if each person can just get involved, we'll talk through the areas and the subjects. It's not going to be one of them where I just talk at you for 2 hours. We let's work it as a team, and we'll give you the documentation at the end that you can take away with you. That'll take you through the steps. And if you in part of the video, you'll understand each of the steps, and you can. In fact, we'll probably give it at the beginning so you can write notes on it, and that way when you go away and do the work, for those that are new, it'll be very, very easy. All right, guys. Catch you all later.
Take care,
See you in a
everybody.
bit.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Hi, big lad. I am actually streaming right now. You've just interrupted my stream. No, I'm not kidding. You come up on my computer.